Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. You are watching Spilling the Beans with Brynit. Don't forget to have fun and like, share, and subscribe.
Children want to be heard, but are parents really listening? Parents sometimes think about such questions but are afraid to speak it out loud. Join us in today's podcast where we have Keerthana Raja, who is an empowerment coach for children and parental well being. So, welcome to the podcast, Kirtana. And I have given a brief intro about you. So, I would really want you to speak about yourself to our viewers and listeners.
Yeah. Hi, Brunette. First of all, thank you so much for having me here in your podcast. I'm Keerthana Raja. I'm a parent child empowerment coach. So, I'm basically from Coimbatore, born and brought up in Rajpalayam. A mother of two kids. So, I've been doing counseling for nearly 5 to 6 years now. But as a person who's passionate about being with children, so I want to explore like how we as parents impact children and their life script. So this is what I've been exploring a lot about. So I took a few courses, and then yeah, here I am as a coach.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, I've read your Instagram handle. It says Sahaj Conscious Parenting. So, would you walk me through why did you choose a Sanskrit word in a modern time right now?
Yeah. I believe our Indian roots are, we have a very strong base. It's all connected. I mean, we have learned something very few and we are trying to project we know everything, but it's been there in here for ages and things. So I wanted to connect. I took Sahaj because Sahaj means free flow. It's like effortless. So I believe, and also choose conscious because parenting is not something you have to study from books or anything. It has to come from within. So when I say Sahaj conscious parenting, it's more of what's happening inside you as a parent, rather than addressing the child's whatever we are complaining about. It's finally about you, why you are there like that, and it's all about you. So parenting should be at the ease, right? So that's the reason
I
I
think
choose.
so. Yeah, very beautiful. I really love the word because I think there are a few Sanskrit words which don't ring a bell with us, and especially given the fast-paced life right now. So when I actually saw your handle, the first thing when I read the word Sahaj, I thought it is in tune with the word natural. So my first question to you is, how would you define natural parenting?
Natural parenting is like it has to come from within. What you feel like, because it what I learned from my parent doesn't apply now to my kids, right? So right there in that moment, what feels right for you, it should be in a natural way. But for that we have to be like, you have to prepare yourself. You can't treat them from what we learned. So it should be in a natural way. So it has to come from within, right? You don't have to plan anything. That's the whole concept of natural thing. It should be from within.
See, I asked her this question because I'm a first born, okay? And I have a lot of friends who are firstborns, and we all have one complaint that our parents never got it right with the firstborn, but they get everything right with the secondborn. And I have done a survey for this podcast, especially, and I've spoken to a lot of young parents who have shortened their questions, and I will ask you then so that you can clear the doubts. But as a first one, I want to ask you, when you are now speaking about which has to come from within, why can't it come from within that you get everything right with your first one, but you're able to get everything right with your second one? Like, this is my major complaint.
Yeah, we are not born with experiences, right? So there is a thing like why firstborn children are like this, and the second born. I did also a reel on this because parents with firstborn, we try to do the best. We try to do everything like it should be the best for the child, best from ourselves. So we try. It's not from natural things, right? We try to do, and we try to accommodate what all learnings we have with the. It's more like an experiment to to be true. It's more
Hmm.
of an experimenting. But with the second child, we already have an experience, and we take it at the normal way or natural way. So that's why many second born are very easygoing with the whole social things or whatever life gives, and they are very, they are very smart enough to deal things. So yeah, that's the way we treat the first child, thinking that we're doing the best for them. Yeah,
Okay, so that brings us to the first question. It's a nice segue. So the first question asked was, if a child can rate the parent the way the parent rates a child, what do you think they would have to say
from the child's point of view,
from the
yes.
child's perspective?
Um, I mean, not to right now, not to question and judge them. That is the first thing kids expect us, because in so many ways we have that parent ego, right? Like, I'm the parent, you're the child. So somewhere we come to a space where we have all the control. So the first thing a child expects from a parent is give them the trust and control, and not to force our thing on theirs, especially the control. Yeah.
Okay. Uh, and do you think that discipline always comes across as rejection to kids? Like when a parent is trying to say that you need to follow a rule or you need to follow certain set of things that are told, do you feel that the emotions or the feelings are being rejected?
Definitely, because we see discipline from their behaviors. So we always neglect or forget to see what's behind that behavior. What are we trying to teach them? Most of the times we don't see the emotions behind that and the feelings. We never give the space and time to express their own emotions. So it's always from the emotional level the child behaves in such a way, and it affects their discipline. So we put our lens only to the behavioral part. Not we are not going inside, I would say. Like, but mostly present parents have little awareness. Like so many talks are there. Maybe I think there is little awareness, but it would be better if we put into use rather than just learning and then not applying.
Mhm.
So it's better we see behavior through emotions.
Okay. Is this the same for strict parents as well?
Strict parents in the sense, like,
Like, there are one set of parents who are very strict, and sometimes it comes across that you're strict. That's why there's so much discipline in the house. Like, am I making sense?
yeah, that is a wrong notion we all have, right? Discipline is not being strict or setting rules, right? You have to know the child better. Not this, my rule applies for one child and doesn't apply for the other child. So, discipline is more like you connect to the child first and take it from there. Connect to the child is not imposing what all you know, the rules.
Hmm.
You wake up this early, you have to do this, you have to. Yes, it is necessary for a normal child to grow well, because when he or she goes into the life, when she hits the life, it is necessary. But there is also a boundary, right? If it is too much, and if the child is not able to come to terms with your rules and discipline kind of a thing, then it's not going to help him any better. So make him understand everything in his way of learning or his language. So for one child, it may be like Sitting and talking with them makes more sense rather than giving lecture. For
Hmm.
some kids, you have to be stern. So it depends.
Okay, so this is actually making me think now if both set of parents are working, outside, and the child is mostly with the maid around. So when the parents come home, there is this mom guilt or dad guilt that is going on. So whatever the child says is a yes, is a okay, because they feel that we are not giving the child enough time. So the only way to show presence is everything is a yes and an okay. But in another household, one of the parent is working, the other parent has chosen to be with the child. And now in this household, the parent who is coming home says everything is a yes, but the parent who's at home is trying to set a certain decorum, how the child needs to grow with different attributes. So now here, don't you think the parent who is spending the most time with the child gets called as a bad cop, and the parent who is just coming and going is being termed as a good cop?
Yeah,
So
definitely.
how do we deal with this? Because I'm sure a lot of people who are going to be listening to this are going to ring a bell with this topic.
Yeah, definitely there's one good cop and bad cop in a house. Like if it is like one parent working and one parent at house giving the full attention, so we try to jump into that space where we get the child's attention. Uh, but the one thing I want to address here is children are very manipulative. You know, they can sense you. They know all the nicks and nooks, like how you are. Even though you don't express through words, they can understand your body language. They can really sense you. Example, when the father comes back after work, and if the mother is a housewife, so she is trying to set rules. And when a father comes and he wants that solid time, he's not going to keep any boundaries with the child. So that's when the children become manipulative. They understand that, okay, this is the time, whatever I say, my dad is going to get me. See, that way we need to educate ourselves. You need, like, both the parents should sit and talk where I need boundaries. If the mother is trying to set a boundary here in this particular case, so so it's always a clear cut communication between the parents. So it's okay to address because I am feeling like a bad cop here. So this is what I'm trying to do with the children. It's not like I'm trying to be strict. So this is where you are coming inside and taking out the boundary. So it's always better to talk in a way they can understand.
Hmm.
And you can take it from there. It'll definitely work out, Brinette. It's not that it's not going to happen. Anything is possible. Like you make the other partner understand. Or if both of you are working parents and both of you are coming and want that solid time equally, and you can share the responsibilities, like you take them for a class or you take her out, you have the rest time but still setting boundaries.
Oh, okay. So basically you're saying that communication between parents is much more necessary and a must.
Is a must, definitely. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. The next question is, what is the difference between a child who obeys a parent and a child who trusts a parent? What's the difference?
Trust is like there is no question, second question.
Hmm.
She is there for me and I can do anything with that trust. Obey, I think the trust will be little lesser in the child's perspective. So when I obey my parent, it's always that do I trust her, or does the parent trust me, or I'm just obeying for the sake of obeying, sake of discipline. Trust is where we need to build up with the kids. So we always take kids for granted, right? They are still small. They are just 1 year old. They are just 10 years old. They are just teens. No, never. We have to build that connection. Connection, what is emotional connection? Giving them the trust. I am here for you. So saying a simple sentence, I know you're upset. I know you're angry. That itself creates a trust in the child. Acknowledging their emotions itself creates a trust.
Hmm.
So trust is more important. Yeah.
Okay. This is my personal question to you. Like, I have often seen it's not only with younger kids, but also with older kids, you're out somewhere and something is not appropriate about you. And a third person is coming and trying to correct you through their lens, ever. And more often than not, even the parent knows that there is this aspect that's lacking in my child. But don't you think, correct me, do you think that if a third person is acknowledging and trying to correct your child, as a parent, if you also wish the same for your child, you would give in and say that what the person is saying is right. But more often than not, parents always, look at the child with younger kids mostly and say, ki, no, no, that person is just like that, or that auntie is like that, or that uncle always speaks like this. So when the same child grows up, if there's a constructive feedback that's coming, what I heard as a younger child, I will never want to trust what somebody is giving me for my own good, but I will always feel key. As per my parents, they have not registered this or they've not spoken about this. So do you think this is the right way or this is the wrong way?
See, in younger children, especially with kids, when somebody, because we as young parents usually won't have a, maybe they have little doubt in themselves, right? Whether we are in the right path, taking the child. So, in that part of parenting, if any elders give an opinion, if it is agreeing with the parent first and the child first, nothing
Hmm.
wrong in taking them.
Hmm.
But your personal um, peace or anything, your time, everything matters. Not just you have to sacrifice to do whatever they say. It doesn't work that way. The first thing is you are the first here. So when you have a regulated system, and then only you can address all what all they are giving and give back to their child. So you're the most important person here. You know like which one to take. If it is like in older kids, in teens or somewhere, suppose somebody is coming and telling your teen child that, oh, you've lost so much weight, or you've put in so much weight. So it definitely is going to affect a teen because they are still processing. That is the space where they all have that body conscious and everything, right? So in that case, I think we need to step in and we make sure that that is not necessary for the child.
Hmm.
So it depends upon our child's age, where we are in, how much we are giving importance to ourselves first and to the child.
Hmm.
So I know we are all growing in the world of so many opinions and advice for free. It matters, like we have to be a little more careful when it comes to the kids.
Hmm. If you were in a situation like this with one of yours, like what would be your natural response to something like this?
As I said, I would definitely stand for my kid. But
Hmm.
if a situation where I can't speak up in public places, I watch my kid. I mean, I understand her or him through their body language or expression, if they are comfortable with this or not. I would definitely take it afterwards and sit with the child. And because it's all suppressed, right? You won't know how it comes out. It's always better to address then. So I would always like to talk with them about how they felt about it. Yeah.
Okay. Is it important for a child to feel loved or to feel understood? What is more important?
Both. But loved morely.
Hmm.
You have to be feeling that love, you know. Understanding is more like a technical word, I would say. But love is a very natural way. You don't need a language to express that. It should be felt. If you want to understand, you need like some more effort to be taken. But love should just flow from you. where both of you can feel it.
Yeah, but don't you think for different age groups this would be different? Because for an adolescent or a teenager or someone in their early 20s, they would be like, I'm okay if, the statistics of love is going up and down, but I really want my parent to understand me because I'm going through issues or I'm having things where understanding is required. Whereas for somebody who is a six-year old and a 7-year old, for them all they want is that my parents love me. I don't care whether you understand me. Like,
Yeah, definitely, because teens are still processing their brain, because their thinking part of the brain is still developing. So they can't be. I mean, they can't justify themselves. They try to justify themselves sometimes. They can't decide properly. So in all the process, they expect us to understand them better. That is the word they use. Why don't you understand me?
mm,
Um, See, it's not like if there is love, I have to keep telling them, I love you, I love you. It's not that. I understand you is a way of telling that I love you for an adolescent. So it depends like which way you are expressing your love to them. For a child, it's very easy to just give them a hug and then leave. But as they grow old, physical connection will decrease as they grow old. So that should be in the form of words. So I think we need to tell them that I love you through I understand you.
this is an interesting question. What is one thing that parents should keep apologizing to their children for?
uh, Definitely for all their mistakes. Um, First thing to apologize is we have to know what did we do, right? We have to realize from their lens.
Hmm.
And we think we all what we do as a parent is very good. I'm doing for the best for the kid, and we do some nonsense, but it definitely won't work out with all our things. So it's better to recognize our mistakes and then apologize then and there. It's very difficult to break a ego that time, um, but it works. Just get down a little and then tell them if they feel that you are wrong. Try to understand where we went wrong and not try to justify our actions. So I think rather than justifying ourselves, it works a better relation between you and the child. When you get down and when you accept your fault, because the same thing we expect from them, right? They also expect from us.
Yeah, yeah. Also, do you feel that and this is what I've commonly heard, okay, like everywhere. I don't know if it's a universal language, but this is what I've heard everywhere where you know, uh, a child or a teenager has done something which is not appealing to a parent or an adult for that matter. And then the first thing that will come is, at your age, I was not like this. I did better. I didn't do better. So, like, as an empowerment coach, I really want you to bust this myth because I'm sure nobody who's been a parent has ever got everything right and everything as a plus, right? So please bust this myth for us.
Um, Today I took a reel on Indian parenting. Common
Yeah.
mistakes we parents, in the name of Indian parenting, we do. So we always try to connect with our experience. See what I, in this age, what I experienced, from my experience, this is not right and wrong. We fail to understand that our experience is not going to work out in this world.
Hmm.
So, because the way we were brought up in the world where there wasn't any technology. We saw people in the house, so many people. We grew up with people. Like we knew, we didn't understand the meaning of sharing everything, but we naturally we were born with those things, right? So we always think from that perspective. And we fail to understand these kids are born with technology. They are born with limited people. They can't understand sharing unless and until they experience. So it's not the right way to tell them that from my experience. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's a
No,
very
but
vast. Yeah.
hmm. No, no, but from your perspective, how was it that you would speak to a parent? Because I'm sure you counsel a lot of kids and parents. So if a child is coming in telling you that this is what I have to keep hearing, that at your age I was not like this, or during our time, this we got it so easy, we didn't get it so easy, but you're getting it so easy. I think that's really unfair because none of us choose what we want. It's just how things are. So if you had to counsel somebody right now, live, what would you have to say?
If it is with the parent, then I will try to address what is trying to make them do with the child. What is their experience? What are they expecting? So, what is the reason they're going back to their experience? So, you can explore around how they are feeling. What is the need for them to tell those experiences? It's not like every time we share that experience, like somewhere it should have touched your trigger point, somewhere it should have connected the dots or touched the wounds, what all we faced. So, for a parent, I would address from that situation what is the need for them to tell this. So, if it is from the child's perspective, then I know it's difficult because if it is a child, when we are talking to a child, you have to make them understand that your parent comes from a age where all this was so different. They can't understand this. So to make them realize it'll be little, you can't talk. You have to work out things, but I would always take it through parents. I prefer doing that because it is us we need to correct, I think.
Hmm. Okay. Um, okay. So, how would you speak to parents and tell them that I think the best gift that parents can give their children is the feeling of security?
Yeah.
Because I personally believe that if you've not got the enough assurances during your growing up years of feeling secure, you do turn out to feel easily insecure with the vulnerable group or when you're going through a certain things in life.
Yeah, rightly said, because so many news we've been hearing today where a child goes into another world, it's very easy for them to trust the outsiders. So before that, it's very important to make the child understand that we are there for them. In the process, it's like we have to figure out how it you can talk with the child or you can communicate this trust with them. I would say like be there for them. Like whenever they feel like opening, give them that space. See, if the child is talking about something very controversial for us, I mean, certain things we can't accept, right? Um, say it the nowadays say he, she, and all that the things. So when the child,
Pronouns.
yeah, so when the child opens up, please listen. Please listen to that genuinely. It's not like because so many conflicts will be going inside us, we still can't accept. When you try to tell your opinion, that's where the child closes her off. So rather than jumping into giving an idea or solution, we have to understand that children talk to us not to hear any solutions, any advice. They just need us to hear us out.
Hmm.
When they are confident and they know my parent is there for me to hear it out, so that is the most safest place. Um, if my daughter, she's in hostel, she calls up anytime, for example, when I'm in the middle of very important thing and trying to avoid. So she is in the urge of telling me something very important, right? So I'm in the middle of meeting or somewhere, I'll call you later. So this way, the forcefully the way she want to express, it's going to get blocked, even though I'm hearing it like after 1 or 2 hours. She will just tell for the sake of telling. But if I take the call and pause what all I am doing here and just hold for 1 second, I'll just put everything to off mode and then I listen to her then when
Mm.
there is a need for her to tell. It will be a better conversation, right? She can really open up. So that is the space we have to give them.
Yeah. Yeah. What is your take? Like, why are there growing number of children who are easily being manipulated and easily feel, like there's nobody for them around? Like, why is it growing in numbers so much?
Nowadays, like kids learn through every source. They have information on their tips, right? Somewhere I feel they believe that they know everything. Yeah, they know everything much far better than us. So in that race, when they see everybody like that, so there is some way of feeling inferior or superior, some comparisons, some inferior. I mean, feeling low, right? Like so nobody is there. So people today, kids today, especially, they are very smart. They can understand the other person easily. So they try to manipulate even through friendships, even through any relations later, because they have everything in hand. So that is their thing. If this is not going to work out, then I already know a source where I can rely on. So I think that is why they take everything for granted. They don't understand the importance of being there, the importance of true friend in the sense, a true partner, a true relation in any relations thing. Think we all have an alternative source everywhere. No, we find it very easy to switch over. We've been living in the world of reels like one after the other. I think that is the reason kids feel lonely, I think, because there is no, that's a human nature to feel connected in everything. When that is disturbed in the name of I know everything, and if this is not okay, then another one. So I think that is a reason, I think. Yeah.
So, like, would you like to share something that you have observed and what would be your call to parents?
Yeah. mm, My idea is just enjoy parenting. Nowadays, many of us are stressed out. We know what the stress is, like very common word now. We think this is stress, that is stress. But my idea, the main thing I want to come inside is you have to enjoy parenting. There's one more life with you. You have to make what potential that soul can give you out, right? And not we always take that as a, I mean, for us to lend out, for us to know, for us to grow. So enjoy parenting. It's a very beautiful relationship. So the way you treat them initial days, you will have a very good friendship later. So that's what I propose for parenting. Like you will have a very good friend for yourself. It doesn't have to be like a mother child or father daughter or anything. You'll be better off with friends. So that's what we are investing. That is when we don't have to put all our intuitions inside that child, but be there, enjoy parenting. Yeah.
Okay. And through Sahaj conscious parenting, what is your goal?
Yeah, I just want to spread this concept of consciousness. What consciousness in a parenting will lead them. So my goal is to reach out more to parents and also younger children. Younger children are very, you feel yourself there. When I'm with kids, I don't know, I feel so good and you forget who you are. That is a pure thing, right? So I want to work more on kids, those who need help. I mean, I want to work with parents who can't understand those kids. I see in many public places like kids are trying to communicate, but we parents ignore. And you can just understand this through a small look at the kids looking at them. You can just understand that. But we in this busy world think that we have so many other big things. So I want parents to be aware and reach out this and help more people. Yeah.
Okay. And also, what would you like to speak to the two set of audience that we will have, like parents and all age group of children? What would be your call for them?
I prefer working with that young parents
Mhm.
and young kids and also the teens.
Hmm.
So this will be my comfort zone.
Okay. Okay. So the final question, um, as you who counsels parents and children together, what is that one thing that you would urge parents that their children remember in the longer run as a relationship between the two?
So, uh, see, major part of the learning comes when the child is from like 12 years till 18, 19 years. That's
Mhm.
when they can reason and understand parents better. That's when all the conflicts also happen. So, in that case, being there for a child, when I said when they need you, we have to understand that window when they need you.
Hmm.
When the child comes back from the school and just lays back, don't keep nudging him what happened in the school, why. They need that space for you to calm down. So when we give that space, I think we can have a very good relationship as a parent. Yeah.
Okay. Any final words that you would like to say, Kirtana?
One word is we are not perfect. We are all not perfect. We are how much ever you learn is just a very small beginning. So we all will learn. Today here we have so many sources. So what I know I can share it with you, what you know you can share it with me. Okay, so let's learn together, let's understand everything together, and let's enjoy the life we have with so much of love. So that's my idea. Yeah, thank you, Brunette, for having me here.
If you're listening to this, you've reached the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you had a lot of fun. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next episode of Spilling the Beans with Brynette.